Jeopardy! Tournament kicks off with Saddest start ever on Monday night as the Jeopardy! Tournament of Champions kicked off with its usual fanfare. The gleaming lights, the staccato think music, the crisp delivery of host Ken Jennings. No one anticipated that the game show's most prestigious event would veer so quickly into what longtime fans are already calling the saddest start ever. The opening match, expected to showcase sharp minds and confident buzzers, instead unfolded into a perfect storm of flubs, freezes, and faltering fortunes that left the usually buoyant audience subdued and social media ablaze with second-hand embarrassment. It began innocently enough. The trio of contestants, all decorated champions from the past year, smiled gamely as they took their places behind the podiums. On the left stood Clara Davis, the librarian from Chicago who had stormed through her qualifying streak with encyclopedic knowledge of literature and opera. In the center, Doug Wu, an actuary from San Francisco, beloved for his deadpan humor and uncanny ability to run entire categories. And on the right, Maria Campos, a high school teacher from Albuquerque, whose charismatic classroom energy had endeared her to audiences nationwide. But from the first clue, it became clear that something was off. The category was American landmarks, and the $200 clue read, "This colossal statue, a gift from France, stands on Liberty Island in New York Harbor." An audible silence fell. 3 blinking gazes. Clara's thumb twitched near her buzzer, but did not press. Doug furrowed his brow and stole a glance to his left. Maria shook her head almost imperceptibly. The think music ran out. "What is the Statue of Liberty?" Ken prompted gently, with the faintest note of surprise. The audience chuckled awkwardly, but the first miss was soon followed by a cascade of others. World capitals yielded blank stares at Paris. Famous scientists stumped them on Albert Einstein. And even the usually softball potables failed to spark recognition on what is vodka? It quickly devolved from curious to unsettling. By the first commercial break, Clara was at negative $2,400, Doug sat at $0, and Maria trailed with a meek $200. The scoreboard, usually peppered with ambitious wagers and tidy sums, looked like a barren wasteland of unanswered clues. As the first round wrapped, Ken, ever the consummate professional, maintained a veneer of optimism. "Well, a slower start than usual, but Double Jeopardy is still anyone's game," he quipped. Yet even he couldn't mask a flicker of disbelief as the second round began and more clues sank unanswered into oblivion. Commentators and fans alike quickly pointed to the immense pressure of the Tournament of Champions setting. "There's a certain psychological gravity when you're facing off against other champions," former contestant Buzzy Cohen remarked during a post-show breakdown. "These are people used to dominating their games, and suddenly everyone's hesitating, second-guessing, and overthinking even the most basic clues." Some speculated that the unusually difficult board contributed to the freeze-ups. Veteran Jeopardy! Writer Maggie Speak later confirmed that while the tournament questions skew slightly harder, the opening clues were well within the normal range of difficulty. Others blamed the lights, the cameras, or the oppressive weight of expectations. By the final Jeopardy round, the situation had reached historic levels of peculiarity. The category was historic speeches, and the clue read, "In 1863, this president delivered a speech at a battlefield cemetery that began 77 years ago." At long last, all 3 contestants scribbled answers. Relief swept across the audience. Finally, redemption. When Ken revealed the responses, however, spirits deflated once more. Clara had written, "Who is Roosevelt?" Doug wrote, "Who is Washington?" Maria, almost mercifully, had simply written, "I don't know." The correct answer, of course, was Abraham Lincoln. When the final buzzer sounded, Maria, with her $200, was declared the winner by default, advancing to the next round in what Ken diplomatically termed an unprecedentedly modest score. Online, the fallout was swift and merciless. Hashtags like #JeopardyFail and #SaddestStartEver trended within minutes. Longtime fans voiced confusion and disappointment, with Reddit threads between the